This is a tutorial on how to unhide a partition. So I have a hidden partition on this computer. So there's a virtual hard drive which is stored on an SSD hard drive. I have a physical partition on that SSD drive which is 10 gigabytes, and I have another 100 gigabyte partition on the same SSD hard drive. So there should be two partitions, and the virtual hard drive is stored on that 100 gigabyte SSD partition. Okay, but that partition is not visible. And if I go to this PC, right click this PC and go to manage, then go to disk management here on the left, then I can see that this is the 120 gigabyte SSD hard drive, which contains around 10 gigabyte partition plus around 100 gigabyte partition. The first one has a drive letter, the second one does not have a drive letter, and we can see that here also. This is the 10 gigabyte partition on the SSD drive, and that would be the 100 gigabyte partition on the SSD drive. That one does not have a label either, and nor a drive letter. Okay, and if I go to cmd, run the command prompt and type diskpart and list volume, then I see the same thing. This one is the virtual hard drive which is stored on the SSD hard drive. That's the 10 gigabyte partition which is stored on the SSD drive. This one without label, that's the DVD drive, but the 100 gigabyte partition which is stored on the SSD hard drive, that is not visible in Diskpart either. So to solve this problem, let's go to the internet and download Aomei partition assistant. Let's try this one from its own website, disk-partition.com. Aomei partition assistant. Let's download the standard version. Click on that green button. Download freeware. Click the download now button. Do you want to run or save the file? It's an 8 megabyte file. Let's run it. Let's minimize that and let's install the partition assistant program. Click OK. Next, I accept. Next, next. Leave the default path. Next, next. Create a desktop icon. Next, install. Okay, setup has finished, and let's uncheck this one, view partition tutorials, and leave that one, run the program. Click finish. Okay, so this is the program, partition assistant. This is the SSD hard drive, and that's the 10 gigabyte partition, and this is the 100 gigabyte partition, and this one is not visible. So let's right click on that invisible partition, go to advanced and unhide partition. Would you like to unhide the partition? Let's click OK. Now click the apply button up here in the upper left corner and proceed. Are you sure you want to start? Yes. Congratulations, all operations have been completed successfully. Okay, and here we can see that drive D. That's the new drive letter of the 100 gigabyte partition. Okay, let's go to File Explorer, and here we can see SSD 100 gigabytes. So the partition was unhidden. Okay, and in computer management we can see the same thing. The 100 gigabyte partition has regained even the label. It has a name, and if I right click on it, I have a few options to choose from. and before only delete volume was available. Okay, so that's how to unhide a hidden partition using Aomei Partition Assistant. That's it, thanks for watching, bye bye.